Hey everybody, and welcome back to Trekyards. I'm Captain Foley.
Oh wait, you're the resurrected Foley because didn't you die between the two episode reviews?
I've died a few times in the last 7 years, but people don't seem to notice. We don't talk about it much.
Do you like the gag there, Stuart? I thought that was a take us into it. Yeah.
People have noticed that my beard's shorter sometimes it's longer. So
Called haircuts.
Yeah.
Well, I'll talk about haircuts, Stuart. I'm going to talk about my.
I was gonna say, yeah, you're resurrected. Look how young you look. Wow.
I'm doing something else. I'm mentally younger. Yes, Stuart. Episode 3 of Lower Deck Season 2.
We'll always have Tom Paris. Yes. Somebody was like, isn't that already an episode title? It's like, no, we'll always have Paris as a TNG episode. But this is a nice play on the words. So
It's instant marks up for a very good title that you'll never forget what the episode's about.
that's right.
So,
That's
Stuart,
right, yeah.
what do you think of Season 2, Episode 3 of Lower Decks?
It's safe to say I was underwhelmed by it. As much as there's like three really good things in this episode, but other than that, there's not a whole lot that really caught me. And as far as Lower Decks episodes goes, it's kind of middle of the road for me. I super enjoyed the Shax is back thing. I thought that was awesome and well played. That was probably the best part of the episode for me. Tom Paris showing up was awesome, but again, a little underwhelming because he was underused in my opinion. And then, of course, seeing both Tendi and Mariner as the sexy Orions was very nice.
Divana. Spoiler times Divana. It's like, yeah, we know.
Oh, we knew that since season 1.
I know, we do. The spoilers to Mariner.
Yeah, but Mistress of the Winter, whatever it was, I can't remember now. So we did learn something new about. We got some character development in this one. And then, yeah, the Boimler thing. I don't know. There just wasn't a whole lot going on in this one. But I can tell you one thing. The plates in the future are very durable. Because not once did that plate break. And it got, plasmified. It got dropped from a ceiling. It got rammed into a console. So, I mean, I want future plates. Other than that, like I said, middle of the road for me. Not super, super great. It was nice seeing a new team up with Tendi and Mariner and them trying to mix it up a bit. And even making a point of saying that was interesting. So what about you? What did you think about this one?
I enjoyed it. I thought it was easily the best of the 3 of this season. It's hard to compare to last season because A, it was a while ago, and B, they're differently structured. But they're definitely the best out of the 3 we had this season, which is good. Nice to have an upward trajectory. Certainly the Tom Paris stuff was at best a cameo. Like, that's a true cameo, and I truly believe that it was underbaked to the absolute extreme of being almost raw. And then you get to the end, and when Boimler says, I'm going to have a drink with him, then you have a really good little moment that makes the whole thing feel like a payoff, but we missed the payoff, so everything was a tease. So kind of a waste. While he was good, he recorded his lines in under 5 minutes. You know what I mean? It was barely even a cameo, but conceptually it was good. But this is the first episode of this season where all of the plots have felt meaningful, because at the end of the day, watching Ransom become a god on a planet we're never going to revisit and then go back to being normal, there's nothing been added here, apart from it's easier to go godlike than we thought. Whereas all of these stories develop a real part of Star Trek lore in a meaningful way, and there's no for the sake of it stuff. So I thought that was really good. It felt far more real Trek, far more integrated, and each element added something, and almost could be a TNG episode. Almost, it was on that line. A lot less silliness happened. So as a more hardcore piece of Trek, I think it hit the nail on the head. And because the Tendi stuff was rich with good dialogue and good moments, it helped the other sections, which were somewhat undercooked, feel better, because they were like you have one mini main course and then you have 3 tasty sides, but you put them all together, it kind of works. And certainly the Rutherford thing was a really surprising thing to have the guy be dead and not dead. It definitely undermined season 1, but could lead to a really exciting way of season 2. And certainly the way they play it was pitch perfect and real weird and real interesting. So a lot of interesting stuff here, and very just Trek in the lore. So yeah, I enjoyed it the most out of the 3.
Oh, really? I didn't expect that. You're gonna have to convince me during the review because, like I said, it was kind of just for me. I've enjoyed the other ones way more. So
I like them disagree though. The other 2 are sort of the same page. But it was, I said the last 2, it missed that greatness, that moment of greatness. This one also missed the moment of greatness. Like I said, near that Tom Paris last scene, maybe where he like phones up on his communicator, or like, you know, in a pad he has like Balana, says, "Hey, say hi to the baby, Boimler," and it's like a live feed with Morale, who's a baby. That would be the most beautiful, you know. And suddenly you've got the Roseanne Dawson cameo and like Mighty Man's daughter, you know, that sort of level. That would have been the way to end it as an epic note. It's like, we got to meet Morale. Well, baby Morale. We met Morale as a future adult, but anyway. But everything else was pretty strong. So.
Okay, well, I'm interested to hear your thoughts then.
Sounds like it'll be a fun breakdown. Today at 10 p.m. GMT, 5 p.m. Eastern. Join it.
Yeah, make sure you check it out, guys. But I mean, it raises some questions. Like, Kayshawn is still on the bridge. We know Shax is back, but is Shax head of security now? I don't know. It makes you wonder if the Shax back thing is almost like a Rutherford, like because of his implant. He's not actually back, but other people reacted to him as well. So
yeah, that's certainly the implication. But they throw that out instantly with the amount of interaction. It's kind of astounding how focused he is on it.
The other thing that kind of grabbed me a little bit was the Boimler thing with the computer not recognizing him, even though he was re-added back into the database. Makes you wonder, is he the real Boimler? Might be worth a discussion at some point. Maybe there's something off with him that the ship doesn't quite recognize, and we're going to find that out later. So there's a lot of mystery here that I think they might be dropping stuff for like another episode. I'm sure we'll never find out how Shax got back, and I think for me that was the best part. We saw Rutherford's vision with all the Shaxes. Like, there's a TOS one, an Enterprise one, a Lincoln one, a Mirror Universe. Like, there's a lot of really cool stuff there, and we'll probably do a video talking about that specifically. But yeah, there is a lot of good in this, but it just, as an overall story, I wasn't really super engaged by it.
And I was the most engaged out of the last 3. And I didn't think for a second it was an implication of the alternate Boimler theory. And check out our video from last week. It's really interesting. That certainly adds fuel to that fire. I just found it as an interesting case study on what happens when you're on a ship, when you're actually part of the crew, because you would assume when diplomats and such come on board, they'd be given certain privileges, but also they're only going to go to certain areas, and you're replicated in your own room where you have approval. But it's a great way of showing the subtext of, if you're not meant to be there, you ain't being there, you know? Or at least in this post-Pac-led defensive way, because maybe that wasn't later. But why?
Yeah, they mentioned they added extra security because of the Pac-lids. But we've always brought up that trope as well. Like, why do people, like, just randomly on the ship have access to certain things? Well, maybe they don't. Maybe they can't access certain doorways because the computer recognizes them and doesn't let them in. Like, that's a perfect security measure. So that's kind of great, actually. It kind of addresses issues we've had all along with TNG and stuff.
And it's a subtlety that would go unnoticed because everyone's professional in that environment. A botanist doesn't need to go to the weapons quantum torpedo launchers, and that's fine. We're never going to test that. So I thought that was a fun... I did think, though, that Boimler got a real short end of the stick of his story. It was the weakest. It was just him crawling through vents. There definitely need to be that. It was begging for a bigger payoff. Begging. Or for Tom to give him, like, his original comm badge, like, as a sorry. So he got a plate and a real... Like it needed something else meaty at the end there, because otherwise Boimler just kind of got abused this week. Which he often does get, but he felt like, we're just going to sideline... But that's literally what he's doing. So it's an odd one. Although it's kind of sad that we saw almost all of the Paris moments in the trailer, and the only one we didn't see was the Kazon bit, which was fantastic. I literally laughed out loud at that, because I was like, why does he look so weird? Oh. That was great. But, God, you get Robert Duncan McNeil, you need to use him more than that. But, I mean, Orions, they answered a lot of questions we had in Season 1 for Tendi. Because we've thought about this show, and you said it to me in a private message earlier, it almost feels like a reaction to what we've been saying over the last year. There are so many things and threads that's like, oh, we wanted that, oh, we've thought that. And these are very hardcore things we've wanted as big Trek fans. So that was refreshing as all hell to be like, question answered.
Yeah, like it almost feels like they're talking directly to us or people or channels like us, where it's like we bring up certain things. We brought up the pheromones with the Orions. A lot of people have been wondering about that. That's kind of brought up. But the best part for me, honestly, was the Shax thing and how you got to wonder what the lower decks people think when a main character comes back to life. Is it announced? Hey, they're back. Don't ask them about it because it was kind of traumatic for them. But I mean, that was kind of funny.
Well, it was remarkable because it again, that's the joy of having a lower deck space show, is that these people are the nobodies. So why would they be told, especially if it's classified? I mean, it'd be nice if they were told, but if you have to manually tell everybody how you came back, I do kind of wish though that they'd, rather than playing it as a everyone comes back to life, don't worry about it, which definitely trivializes it to a massive extent. Yes, he's horror. Fine, sure, it's a horrible thing to have happened, but it still makes death seem a little. But it makes death literally a joke. I wish it had been more a case of that it was a Bajoran ritual, that maybe they offhand say, the Par Wraiths blessed me, and you're like, oh shit, because Bajorans are spiritual. They have the prophets, they have the wormhole. That would a perfect end to how he came back. Oh, the prophets brought him back. But implying it's a classic Starfleet reanimation thing where you lose your soul and you go to like it's real dark on purpose. So I wish he'd just, in his story, it all been Bajoran themed. So okay, this is a specific thing. They had their cake and eat it too, but it's a real risky precedent.
I mean, the Tendi Mariner stuff, I love how we reiterate for the audience that might not have been there for season 1 that yes, Mariners served on 5 ships. She even served on Deep Space Nine. Awesome to know. We got Devana, her name. Of course, we knew that.
Who's Devana? You don't know my name? That's great. That's such a meta moment.
Yeah, we got that going into like season 1, and it's interesting because I think a lot of people do think that she only has the one name, Tendi, and no, it's Devana. It's Devana Tendi. So I mean, that's great. So that the characters didn't learn a lot, or they didn't teach us a lot about their characters. They kind of reiterated what we already knew, but they were teaching each other. We got 1 or 2 moments where we kind of found out something new about them, but
a lot for Tendi though. I mean, her entire back story a bit. The context.
Acid Klingon punk rock.
No, I think Tendi. I mean, this was the Tendi episode, and that was great. Definitely a focus on Boyden was sidelined. Mariner was sidelined. Really, she was an excuse to have action, which is so unusual because she normally is the action. So good for them for making it about the side characters, or at least the side 2. Good choice. Even if Rutherford is just reacting to stuff, it's still his story. And certainly the learning that Mariner served on DS9 was a whole thing, because that we saw her on her Olympic class above DS9, because that was explicitly when she served on that ship. So it's Angie 7 DS9, which means during the Dominion War, which means she knew everybody, which explains why she knows so many people, because she was there at the center of a big thing. But it messes up a fan film I wrote because she didn't serve on DS9 when I wrote the damn script. God damn it! I got to do some reshoots just to fix the bloody Might Man. You messed with a fan film I made. I've already shot.
Oh well, alternate universe.
Nope. No. I'm trying to link everything in. But I think basically what we're learning is we have to go do all the sub episodes to break down these cool things. But I enjoyed this one. I'm really excited to look through scene by scene. A lot of these things are a frame or you'll miss it. And I miss a lot of the references first time round, because why would you recognise this planet necessarily when it's on screen for 2 seconds and then cuts to the interior?
That's right. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss any of those. Click the notification bell icon to all. Comment down below what you thought of the episode. Overall, I thought it was kind of not the best one of this season. Samuel disagrees with me, so that's quite interesting. We want to get your thoughts as well. And if you want to join the live tonight, that's a great way to be part of the conversation and kind of get our full thoughts on it, where we break it down scene by scene and just have some fun. So the full episode reviews later tonight. But yes, over the next couple of days, we'll have some breakdown, smaller videos that we can talk about and have, your input as well. We want to hear your thoughts on Lower Decks, because we love it as part of the new Trek. So please let us know your thoughts.
And of course, support on Patreon if you want to, or join the channel, or super chat on those lives, or buy Eagle Moss stuff via code Trekyards, or our Teespring store, or our TeePublic. So many great ways. And of course, just tune in and watch more.
So until next time, guys, he's Commander Cocky.
He's got a verdict.
Back from the dead. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.